We're here at 1100 Douglas Avenue, which is a building that I purchased earlier this year, actually immediately next door to the Wash, the car wash to micro restaurant conversion project that we are doing in East Nashville, and which is actually one of the reasons I decided to buy this building. We'd already closed on the Wash when the owners of this property called me to see if my brokerage, the Cobble Group, would be willing to list this building and sell it for them. And after looking into it, I said, you know what, actually, I might be a good buyer for this. Again, I'm always for buying property in East Nashville because that's my neighborhood, but also with it being immediately next door to a project I'm already working on, it just made a lot of sense for me and the team to look at this as a potential investment. The building is 2 stories, 1,260 square feet, located at the lighted intersection of Gallatin and Douglas. So when we bought it, we wanted to put something in here that was complementary to the Wash, right? Something that maybe customers of the Wash could look over and see and want to come check out. So a couple of years ago, this guy, Gage, approached me. He had been working at a hat company before and had this idea for going out and starting his own custom-made hat company. And at the time when he pitched it for an investment, I just said, look, it's too early on. I actually hadn't even invested in any companies at that point. And I said, it's too early on for me to properly invest with you. You know, let's give it some time, go out and, get the company started up and going, and let's revisit it a little bit. Well, when Jordan moved here from California, he had actually already been working with Gage on their products and how to get them into some retail locations and some directions that they could take the company. So, of course, Jordan brought the prospect of investing in Daisy May Hat Company back up to me again. And I said, absolutely, let's dive into it. After talking with Gage for a little bit, one, it just made sense to invest in his company. I love what he is doing and what he is building. I mean, the guy he's incredibly hardworking, but he also deeply cares about the product that he's putting out. And I actually happened to be a customer before I was an investor in the company, which to me was kind of the selling point. I already liked it. The biggest problem that Daisy May had, though, even though they were selling custom hats left and right, he's too far away from Nashville to really get that walk-in retail traffic instead of just the customs. And we had this building under contract, and so I said, Gage, why don't you just look at moving into East Nashville, going immediately next door to the Wash, and actually setting up a true retail presence, which is how we ended up here today. So Jordan is our project manager at Hamilton, which is my investment and development company. He has an extensive background in value-add projects as well as design. So he brings this very unique skill set together that helps us not only stay on top of getting projects done, but he has an eye for making things look good, which is one of the key components to making 1100 Douglas as beautiful as it is now.
Come on in. So as we were talking about before, we really wanted to be able to jump inside of Gage's head. So when you walk in here, like you finding all those elements that typify him. So in what you kind of do with commercial real estate, we were looking to do that here, the idea of adaptive reuse. So a lot of thing in here is personal, and it's about the small touch points. You'll see in the center, this was Gage's bull riding rope because he started off.
Oh, was it really? Mm-hmm. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what he was hanging on to. And you have elements like taxidermy. Gage is a big bow hunter, supports the military, and so you'll find, camo elements throughout. We looked at how do we display the hats to get a maximum impact, and he has a lightning bolt design that's branded into each one of them. So what we did was we custom made lightning bolt hooks to represent the logo of the hat, and those are all walnut and oak hat hooks. So by far.
So this is the famous wallpaper.
This is the famous wallpaper.
The great thing about working in older buildings is that none of the walls are straight, right? Everything is at a weird angle, and it goes in, and then it comes back out, and then it goes back that way. So Gage came in here and started doing, I wish we had photos of that, because that would be really funny to show everybody.
We do somehow. We'll try and get them to you, get them up.
If we have, okay, if we have photos, cue the photos. But, so Gage.
Back to right, as opposed to top down.
Yeah.
And it's a repeating pattern, but it goes at a diagonal. So if you start at the top, you start, by the time you get to the bottom, you've already hit the end, but you haven't gotten to the corner. So we had about 2-3 inch gaps between panels. So we went through half a roll of wallpaper before we realized it is a lost art and we should get a professional at that. So budget accordingly.
Yep, wallpaper is not easy to do when you have very smooth walls to work with. So that was fun. Let's go get Gage.
All right.
The man, the myth, the legend. Gage!
You call me?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Are you talking about Bun Ranch?
Yeah.
Okay, piece of shit.
That guy's a piece of shit.
Whatever.
I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
I can't either, but he's pouring his black rifle coffee.
What is it exactly that you do here, Bob?
I'd like to say that I'm a cultivator of relationships at Daisy May Hat Co. Another title I have is CEO and founder. No, I make the hats.
Aren't you the cultivator of friendships?
I can say that.
I could say.
The more you say it, does it feel real?
What,
You convince
CEO
yourself?
and founder?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
I mean, CEO founder. You know? I mean, I am, yeah. Are we rolling right now? Is this?
Yeah, we're recording everything.
Oh, okay, great, yeah. Yeah, I'm CEO, founder, hat maker of Daisy May Hat Co.
So how'd you get started?
I used to ride bulls. I'm originally from New Mexico. I've been in Nashville for about 10 years now. Grew up in a small cow town, and I rode bulls. I was like on my high school bull riding team in New Mexico.
You had a high school bull riding team?
Yeah.
The high schools are better out there.
Yeah, it was
What?
awesome, man. Yeah, so I rode bulls for a couple of years, but before like barn dances and like 4-H dances and stuff like that, we'd go to the Western Warehouse, now known as Boot Barn or whatever, but we'd shape our hats. And I just kind of doing that, or like at my buddy's house over a teapot, with tinfoil funnel, and we just shape our hats over it. So I started shaping Western hats, and then from there I was touring in a metal band for forever, married to 5 other dudes living in a van, traveling all of North America.
Sounds really easy to do.
Oh, yeah. It's the hardest thing in the world, dude. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, you if you're touring full-time, it's kind of hard to find a job. Obviously, Nashville's very awesome for musicians, people who tour and finding jobs. Everyone's kind of always in and out, right? So I just wandered to a hat store one day, and the lady liked my hat, and I was like, hey, you want to give me a job? And I was a meter maid at the time, in between touros.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was like putting boots on people's cars, right? Like down the courthouse.
You're the jerk.
Yeah, I was. I totally was, But yeah, she was just like, yeah, how much you make? And I think I was making like, I don't know, $10 an hour. I was like, I make like $14 an hour. She's like, I'll start you at 15. And man, I walked out of there feeling like
like a rock star.
Oh, I was like, I own the world, man. Like $15 an hour, I'm set for life, Yeah, and that was like, I don't know, that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago? I think 5 years ago now, because next month I've been doing Daisy May for 2 years.
For 2, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then I was an apprentice for 3 years, and then I was like, all right, man, I'm out of here. I created differences and whatnot, and there's hat making's a funny thing. There's like an old guard, right, of traditional, this is how you do things, this is how you do it, and it's like, that's awesome, and I respect it, right? Obviously, I make hats like they do in the 1800s, right? I do the same concept, but it's like, hats can be a lot cooler if you kind of make a little more rock and roll.
If you do it a little bit more like this.
Yeah.
That's the exact same way that commercial real estate is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was the frustrating thing for us, is that everything was like stuck in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so we're coming out and doing things a little bit differently, and it resonates with people.
Yeah.
And you have to learn, what is it, Miles Davis, you have to learn the rules before you can break them.
Yeah.
Like, you did your time, 3 years, time to go do your own thing.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And, I've always loved Nashville, right? There's always been a really beautiful sense of community here. And I also found Daisy May to be like a really fantastic conduit to give back into the community, which I feel like is such a great thing that you and I really connect on as well, was like our love for community, our love for the city, right? Because, people can shit on it or whatever, but it's like, dude, Nashville rules, man.
Yeah.
There's so many cool different types of people here, no matter where you come from, right? And maybe they're here for 10 years, maybe they're here for 10 months, you know, but you just kind of meet these really rad people where it's like, and you're always learning something from someone new.
Yeah, it's such a great city. I was telling everybody actually about, you know, how you give back with wounded vets and all that kind of stuff. So elaborate on that.
Yeah, I've been able to, you know, partner a little bit with Black Rifle Coffee, and they've been super kind. Another gentleman on Instagram named Better the Sign. His name is Zach, and he's just been fantastic, you know. And it's, you know, I've never really wanted to join the military or anything like that, but kind of partnering with Black Rifle and stuff, you hear these dudes' stories, these men and women, and what they've kind of been through, you know. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. I know nothing about it, you know, but I've just grown such a heart for that, you know. And so it's cool because with Daisy May, it's like I get to do whatever I want, right? I give it to the kid picking on the corner whose like dream is to be the next big Luke Bryan, right? Or, you know, some dude who just got back from Afghanistan, you know, and to be able to give back to those types of people, I don't know, it's just been so cool, man. You know, I mean, because I'm making a hat, right?
Yeah.
But what it's brought to the table and been able to give to folks is just really, really cool.
Well, dude, tell us about the hats. Let's go look at some. I want you to talk about the process.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys want to go this way?
Yeah.
Talk about it?
Start upstairs.
Yeah, we can start upstairs. Absolutely. This is our trim and shaping room. Pick a side.
I'm
Pick a side,
I'm
Jordan.
choosing.
Goodness.
Get out your way.
Jordan, go home.
So we don't block hats in this room, but what we do is we'll steam a hat, we'll steam a felt like this,
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
block it, we'll sand it down, and then we'll shape it. So then this will turn into something like this. This is what we're working on at the moment. Sweatbands. Yeah, it's kind of great. We have all kinds of different trims and ribbons we use. Some are super vintage, some you can't find anymore.
So everything's done in-house here.
Everything is absolutely done in-house here. Yeah, I mean, and everything is shaped by hand, blocked by hand. We just use a sewing machine to sew in the sweatbands, and that's fantastic because my hands aren't gonna get arthritis anymore. Which is great.
Do you find it challenging to, when you have a custom order, to take what's in someone's head and have them who don't know anything about hats try and describe to you what they want and project in that and manifest it as a physical object, or do you kind of just run with it? Or how do you, tell me your process, do you get to know them? What do you
Yeah, so if someone is local or here, they come to the shop, right, we have an appointment, we sit down, make a cup of coffee, whatever, and we talk, and it's like, okay, what do you like about hats, right? Well, I like a flat brim, I like the dye, I like a teardrop, stuff like that. So this is super easy to kind of do, But yeah, there are some customers who are like, I don't know anything about hats. I just know that I want one.
And
right?
I like
So
Harley Davidsons.
And I like Harley Davidsons, yeah. So there's stuff like that where it's like, hey, well, what's your facial features look like? You know what I mean? Are you tall and skinny? Are you short and stocky? Do you have a really big beard? Or, do you have long hair? These are all the things you kind of take into consideration, right? So, maybe a gentleman or a lady who's just like, 6'4" and super tall and skinny, and they're like, I want a 5-inch brim hat. It's like, that's gonna look goofy as hell. Like, let's narrow it down a little bit, right? But then again, it is a custom
You're gonna
hat.
look like the guy from Curious George.
Absolutely, yeah, but then again, it's like, hey, no, this is what I want. I'm someone that's like, great, man, we'll make it happen. If you want a 3-foot tall top hat, we're gonna make it happen for
Let's
you,
do it.
And we're gonna do it. Absolutely.
So that must be, challenging when you've got a product that's custom made, has a lead time, and is $1,000 plus. What do you recommend to the person that's just getting into this and they go to your website and says, I might not have the time or the budget for a full custom?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we offer a set of ready-made hats, right?
Oh, cool.
So we have 4 different styles that are out there that you can choose from, and they're rabbit, so they're $350. So it's a great starting point, right? There's a lot of people out there who will sell, wool for over $500 or $1,000. It's like, it's just such a waste of money because wool cannot stand up to the elements, right? Your snow, your rain, those things like that, even sweating, in a hat. With our hats, the ready-mades are rabbit, so they're going to do just fine and the rain and the snow. And then you can even bump it up to beaver, which is the highest
quality.
Yeah, of hat, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and the hats we make, even our ready-mades at $350, you can pass those down to your kids, so on and so forth.
Because they're the same quality.
Exactly.
It's just not custom to
exactly.
your specs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
So we make like heirloom products.
I love that. Hat goals. Joe Rogan and Justin Bieber.
Absolutely.
And actually,
Joe, Justin, if you're watching, call us. Gage wants to make you a hat.
I'm working on Justin right now, actually.
Yeah, I had a meeting about Justin Bieber.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Write down your goals.
And
Write them down, baby.
they're also really great for guys like me that are slowly losing their hair. It covers everything that I'm trying to hide. It's now part of my persona.
Yeah, it gives you something worth looking at.
I love working with you.
This has been great. Thanks.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, there's a hat out there for everybody. There really is, and it's just sometimes it takes a little bit of time, I guess, to wind it down and figure out, boil it down to what you want.
All right, well, so that's it for our tour here at Daisy May. They are having the grand opening June 18th.
That's right.
So come on out. We're going to throw a big neighborhood party. We're going to grill.
It's also Gage's birthday.
It's also Gage's birthday.
Turning 21.
I hear there's going to be a To Speak of Wolves concert. Gage is over the band scene. So yeah, 1100 Douglas Avenue, June 18th. Come on out, join us, grill, check out the hats. We'll see you there.